Hello everybody, welcome to another video. My name is Rodgon. I'm an artist and an illustrator, and I have been doing this for a very long time, for around 15 years. And today we are going to be talking a little bit about the myth or a starving artist. Is it a myth? Is it a fact that all artists have to starve? Or, like where it comes from, why it was got started, and like why so many people believe that artists are supposed to starve in order to be able to be successful, or in order to be an artist, or that you have to be starving if you are going to choose this line of work. So this one, I'm going to try to make this into like a slightly more motivational video than anything, but it might have a little bit of like condescension to it, because I don't really believe the myth of being a starving artist. I don't think that you have to be an artist. I don't think that you have to starve if you become or you decide that you want to be an artist. Then there's tons of artists out there that make a lot of money. There's a lot of different artists out there and different kinds of art that you can do where you can actually make a living and be pretty comfortable when it comes down to art. So let's just walk down, what I wrote down. I actually have a couple notes here for this one, so it's not going to be a complete rant, but let's just walk down the path of what it is and why people think that you're going to starve if you choose to be in art, and then just come up to a conclusion at the end. It's not going to be a set conclusion, but you guys can make your own decisions based on the information that I'm going to give you guys. So where does it come from? Well, just from doing a quick Google search, I found out that, this is just something that's, literally put into onto our minds. It's a common thing, like it's all the way in the Urban Dictionary or Wikipedia and stuff like that. And it's a wide, firm belief that you have to go through suffering and you have to actually forfeit a life of luxury or a life of wealth if you decide to be an artist. For some reason, a lot of people think that. A lot of people believe that if you choose to be an artist, you're going to be scrub millennial that doesn't know what they're doing, and you don't have anything to do with your life, and you don't know what you're doing, and you're going to throw your life away. And I can almost guarantee you that every single one of you guys listening to this video has probably heard this from some person or another. Be it your parents, be it somebody else that's going into law or anything like that. Like somebody that's going to another profession like engineering or being a doctor or something like that. They think a little bit less than for the people that decide to choose art as their career. I don't know why that got into popular culture. If you really look back at time, even back in Greek times, artists were artists. Sculptors, that was a lifelong career. You had to put so much time and effort into it that it would make some people nowadays going into being doctors shameful. There was a lifelong thing that you had to aim to master. And, just the fact that the people think that artists are just starving is really, really baffling to me. But it's also a romanticized version of being an artist, right? A lot of people think that going into this field means that you have to see life in a different way. You shouldn't be doing it for the money. You should be doing it for the passion. And I believe that to a certain extent, but I also believe that you don't necessarily have to lose your passion for it just because you want to make money with it. What some artists would call other people sellouts. Making money with your art is just going to allow you to make more art without having to worry too much about day-to-day life struggles. So I don't understand why some people consider some other artists sellouts. It makes no sense to me. But let's be devil's advocate for a second. Let's look at what the actual some actual ways that we could actually say that that is true. you know? Well, some things that do tend to lead to people struggling as an artist are a couple factors. One, it's really hard to get in as a beginner. And if you are just starting at it, yeah, you are going to struggle. But that is the same case with doctors, dentists, lawyers. If you are just barely starting out and you don't have much experience under your belt, it's going to be hard for you to actually achieve like any sort of success. I know just as many people that have tried to go into biological engineering or, and law and trying to be paralegals and being nurses that are struggling just as much as my artist friends. Just mostly because it's really hard fields to get into. You need to solidify your ground when it comes down to those careers. And if you don't, you're not able to do that, it's really hard to get off the ground. So yeah, it is really hard for beginners. So that's one aspect of it that could be considered, one of the struggles. The second one is that it's really hard to find work within your capabilities. Not every artist is good at everything. And it's sometimes not as easy to find the work that you require to be able to sustain yourself, especially if you don't know where to look, if you don't reach out and you don't try to find different avenues for income to come in. Artists that have one thing that they can do really well tend to struggle a little bit because they don't have any other source of income. They don't have any other talents that they can actually fall back on in order to be able to fulfill that space. So as an artist, you have to actually, be versatile. I don't like the term jack of all trades, but ace in none. I don't really like that, but in all essences, in all instances, when it comes down to being an artist, you do need to be more versatile than most when it comes down to actually designing. If you can only draw dogs and that's what you're trying to base your whole career out of, it's going to be really hard for you because you can't draw anything except dogs, or you can't draw humans, or you only draw certain things, or you only draw anime, or you only draw comic books, or you only draw robots. You need to be able to be more versatile. You need to be able to do a wider range of different types of illustrations if you want to be an illustrator. If you want to be a portrait artist, you need to be able to do caricatures as well. You need to be able to open up your variation of your skills in order to be able to be successful in that field. Sooner or later, people will realize that you are good at multiple things, and then you will most likely excel at the one thing that you really love the most. But you have those things to fall back on. Number 3, it takes a lot of talent to make it in this industry. Be it you be a 3D artist, 3D modeler, lighter, animator, illustrator, sculptor, painter. In order to be able to get work over other artists, you need to be better than those artists. And you need a lot of skill and talent that goes into it. I would just put the equivalent of a person that's studying to go to medicine. And I would just say that you have to put just as much time into it. If that person studies 10 hours a day, you should be drawing 10 hours a day. If that person goes to class for, 15 years, doesn't mean that you have to be going to class for 15 years as well, but you should be aiming to learn new things throughout pretty much your whole life. You should never stop learning, and you should never try to aim to be at a higher level. Even if you're really good, even if you do catch a lucky break and you get successful doing something, never stop pursuing something else, because at any given point, that one aspect of success that you got could be taken away from you, or that avenue of money stream could be removed, and then you're kind of stuck without having to actually have another outsource. So yeah, it takes a lot of talent to get into it, and it takes even more talent to stand out from everybody else. And number 3, it doesn't just take art to succeed in this business. You need much more than just to be good at art. You need to be able to be good at business. You need to be able to know how to hustle. You need to know how to approach people. You need to know how to sell yourself. You need to know how to actually market everything that you do. You can't rely on other people to do that for you. A lot of artists tend to get agencies and agents, and like they work for other people, and those people are the ones that end up making a lot of money off of them. And the artist in general doesn't necessarily get that big of a boost from having somebody else do their business aspects of them. What you need to do is just pick up a couple books, pick up a couple self-help books about marketing, about business, take a local community class about just business aspects, and then just try to apply that to what you like to do. Try to apply that to your field, and it's going to be incredibly useful to take those classes. Yes, they are not fun. They are not entertaining, especially if you're like me. You will be probably doodling half the time that you're in class. But whenever you actually pick up some of that knowledge, trust me, it's going to save your butt one day. It's going to save your ass more often than not. And you're also going to be able to know where you can push your stuff, where you can't. You're going to see different avenues that you can actually take when it comes down to your career. And you're going to just be a much, much, much better, well-rounded individual. You're going to actually be a businessman that does art. And that's much, much more valuable than just a person that does cool art. It can be somebody that's not that good at art, but is good at business and is just okay at art, will succeed 1,000,000 times more than a person that's just incredibly amazing at art, but does not know how to actually show that art or sell it. So just keep that in mind. Learn business aspects like marketing, taxes, business models, basic stuff like that. And you will see so many more possibilities than you do right now. Well, that's just one aspect of it. Another point is it's hard to maintain. And what I mean by that is that it's really hard to maintain a certain level or a certain standard if you're only working for yourself. It's not going to be a steady revenue stream. You're going to have to be flexible when it comes down to what you do, how you do things, when you do things. You might not be able to have all the luxuries that somebody with a stable job has. If you decide to be your own boss and you try to pursue this, or even if you start working for animation studios or design firms or anything like that, you never know when those works are going to expire, because art and just the general field of art in general is not very stable. Things change really quickly. I realized this when I was working at my design firm. Over the course of about 2 years, I saw the market jump up, and we had a huge peak where we were getting requested, illustrations left and right. We would be getting hit by companies like Walmart and Target and Kohl's and all these different really big companies. And then in a matter of months, it all went away. The trends changed, and then they decided not to go with that. So that eliminated a lot of our market, and we just ended up twiddling our thumbs, just going what are we going to do now? And if it wasn't for very innovative people that we had at the design firm, we would have probably gone out of business. So, I mean, the industry in general is not very stable. So you need to make sure that you try to maintain whatever you have by being able, let me phrase this properly. You need to be able to know when you can spend and when you can't spend your savings or income, or when you can invest and when you can't invest, so you can actually make more money with your money. That's more so what I wanted to say. So just always be cautious and always have a backup plan just in case. Another point that I want to make is that not everybody can do this line of work. It really is a very specialized kind of work. It takes a very, 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 very creative person and technically savvy person to be a graphic designer, to be a 3D artist, a 3D modeler, an animator. It takes an incredibly specific type of person. So don't sell yourself short. If you are one of these amazing people that can come up with things from their head, don't let other people tell you that you're not good enough. Don't let other people diminish the capabilities that you have. Like, don't let other people talk down to you. Don't let other people say, oh, well, all you do is draw little doodles, huh? That's cute. Don't let people talk to you like that, because then if you do, it's going to get stuck in your head and you're going to start believing it. And that is a very, very bad thing to get out of. Like, it's going to be really hard for you to get out of your own head that you are not like that. You are valuable. You are an amazing person by being able to even simply draw. Like, statistically, the number of people that can actually illustrate anything is very small. Like, and if it just gets smaller and smaller, the more talented you become. So don't forget that you are a freaking amazing person. You are absolutely amazing. And people should know that. Like, don't let people talk down to you. And, well, even though the struggle is going to be real, like, let's face it, it's a very competitive field, right? It's a very competitive field. So it's going to be hard sometimes. You're going to be struggling. You might have to take another job if you are struggling really hard, but never ever lose that focus. And how do we okay, so let's go on the other side now. Like, how do we avoid getting into the situation where you feel like you are one of those starving artists? Like, how do we avoid being in that situation, period? And I'm going to give you guys a couple hints. And hopefully, they are resounding within you, and, you guys can actually see what I mean. And then maybe you guys can apply it to whatever situation you guys are in right now. So how do we avoid being a starving artist? Well, first of all, dedication. Dedication is going to play a huge role in this. And that means that you're going to have to put a lot of time, lots of time, lots of effort. And you're going to have to practice 10 times harder than everybody else if you want to stand out from them. You need to put it upon yourself to make it a priority to be doing stuff that's going to make you move forward with your career. No one else is going to do it for you. No one is going to give you a shortcut. There's going to be more people that try to put you down than help you up. So it's going to be up to you to be able to push yourself and put that dedication and time and effort that it's going to be required for you to actually succeed. And, even I'm a person that's been doing this for a very long time, and I see this all the time. I get a lot of people that just ask for shortcuts. They just ask me hey, how do I get better? Hey, how do I get better quick? Oh, wait. And then when you tell them what it takes, they just freak out. They're like, oh, well, I don't want to have to draw 10 hours a day. I don't have time for that. Oh, man, it's going to take years? Oh, God, man, nah, I'd rather just give up. I've actually gotten those messages before, and it's heartbreaking because, I'm not going to say that I'm the best illustrator or the best artist. I'm not, by far. I have a ton of flaws, and I have a lot to grow in. But I've gotten to the point where I'm actually semi-comfortable with my artwork enough to show it and, try to help other people out. And it didn't happen overnight, at all. It's been a huge, huge process. And I draw every single day, at least for a couple hours. And I see improvements all the time. And not everybody else can see it. And I don't search for the validation of other people as well. So I just kind of measure myself up against myself. And that's what you should do as well. You should never settle. Even if you are really good, even if you're incredibly naturally talented, never settle for the level that you're at. There's always another stepping stone that you can take. If you need help finding that, reach out to other artists. Send me an email. I will gladly look at your stuff and tell you if you need to improve on anything. And if you're way better than I am, I will still be able to point you in the different direction that you can possibly think. Like, I do not mind emails like that. I love helping out people. Like, I don't mind looking through people's portfolios. I don't mind helping them out, and I'll respond. Maybe it'll take me a little bit of time to do it, but I'll be responding as much as I can to what you guys send me. Just send me some samples of your work. Like, honestly, if you guys want some feedback and you guys don't have anybody around that you can bounce ideas off of, I'm more than happy to do that for you guys. And my email can just be found anywhere. Like, I think my email is in my Instagram, and contact information is there as well. So you guys can just find me there. Okay, so we've all also heard the whole saying, the grass is greener on the other side. And that's always the case, right? Like, somebody else always has it better than you. So what I want from you guys is, I want you guys to make your own grass greener. Like, stop looking at the neighbor. Like, just make your own grass greener. If your grass is brown and dry, greenify that stuff. Like, do whatever it takes to make sure that your situation is better. Like, don't concern yourself with other people. Like, other artists, they're struggling through their own things. They're like going through their own stuff. Don't worry about them. Like, they're not gonna, like, their success, their failures are not yours. It's gonna be up to you to make your grass greener. So get that fertilizer and make sure that you like pour it all over your yard, because don't concern yourself with other people. Don't compare yourself to other people, and then just like improve and try to improve as much as you can on your own. Like, that is going to be a trillion times more satisfying than just waiting for somebody to mess up so you can look better. And you need to stay positive. Okay. One thing that I love telling people is that negativity, just like stupidity and laziness, it's contagious. If you surround yourself with people that are negative, you will become a negative person. If you surround yourself with someone that's stupid or somebody that's lazy, you will become more stupid and lazy. So don't do that. Like, cut people out of your life. Like, I know the notion of like being like the solitary artist, like, ooh, solo wolf pack and all that stuff. Like, I know that it's kind of like sad to think about it like that, but most of the time, whenever you start cutting out negative people or people that drag you down, that's when you start seeing your success. When you like consolidate all the people that you hang out with and you only take the positive out of them, you will see that you only have maybe a handful of people that are actually willing to grow with you. If you're surrounded by other artistic people, make sure that you're staying around the people that will help you succeed, that will help you grow, that will help you like achieve goals that you've never achieved before. If you start hanging out with people that are lazy, complacent, or just straight up are not looking to succeed or like progress, you're going to get stuck with them. They're going to be like big anchors that weigh you down. And I do not want to see that happen to any of you. On the last note, because the video is getting to be a little bit long, it's almost like 25 minutes now. Wow. I want you guys to go through this week with this notion in mind. Okay? You are good enough. Do not be insecure, but make sure that everybody knows you are the best artist out there for whatever it is. Make sure that people understand that you are amazing, because you are. You are freaking amazing. The moment that you put that pencil on that paper, you are amazing. The moment that you click those buttons on that mouse and you create a 3D model, you are amazing. The moment that you make a little ball bounce in different images with your animation, you are spectacular. Do not let anyone else tell you otherwise, because you're amazing, you rock, you paper, you scissors, and you're everything that everybody else wants to be. So do not let anybody else tell you otherwise. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the little bunnies flying off the robot with the cats. And I know it didn't have anything to do with the topic of the video, but I love you guys. And, you know, I wanted to show you guys something fun as well. If you guys feel like, you know, if you guys actually enjoy what I do, I know that I'm supposed to be updating my Patreon soon. I'm going to be putting an apology video there actually for not posting as much as I should since like November or December. So I know I haven't posted there, but if you guys feel like, you know, signing up, it will be updated soon. I should be doing that. I also should be streaming on Twitch soon. So I'm going to be doing sketch nights with you guys. If you're listening to this already, you're probably a person that actually enjoys what I do. So I'm going to be doing like certain times out of the week where I'm going to dedicate a couple hours to just doodling on stream while I talk with you guys, and you guys can just sketch with me. And I think that's just going to be a really fun way to give back to you guys. And I'll figure out like a little bit more about the Patreon stuff later, you know, so if you guys want to come like sign up, cool, so you guys get notifications. If don't worry about it, it's all good. And I think with that, I'm gonna leave you guys to your awesome weeks. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. If you guys want to show me any of your drawings, make sure to tag me on Instagram at Rodgon the artist. And with that, I'm gonna leave you guys be, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later. Hope you guys are enjoying all these motivational videos that I'm putting out every week. If you guys do, and you guys want to see some more, click on the left and to the right. There's some more videos for you guys to check out. And if you guys want to follow me on Patreon, the link is in the middle. Hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.